This move just told us everything about the Milwaukee Brewers, and after a Game 3 loss to the Chicago Cubs and a tough outing from Quinn Priester, the plan has been already announced for Game 4 tonight with a very interesting starting pitching decision. We're going to be breaking this down, going over all the moves here going into today's game from what we know at this point in time, as well as touching just a little bit on yesterday's game. Like I said, I'm going to be touching on all of that here in this video. Before we do jump in with those, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you one favor, and that's if you haven't already, be sure to hit the sub button. Join me here on the channel. We got a lot of Milwaukee Brewers news coming every day throughout this postseason. We also know it's just over 74% of you guys watching right now have not hit that button already. So if you want to stay up to date with all of your Milwaukee Brewers news, be sure to join the channel right here. We're having, like I said, daily videos about everything Milwaukee Brewers, but I do apologize for not getting a video out after yesterday's game. I wanted to have a look and see what we're going to be facing in the AL on that side of things, so had to watch that closing game. And when we get into this now, there's a lot of things going forward for this Milwaukee Brewers team that are making a big push for the NLCS. And first, before we do get into that, I want to touch on yesterday's game just a little bit, and of course, a 4-3 loss to the Cubs. Let's be honest, this is okay. Let's not start to panic right now. We knew this was going to be a tough series, and being up 2-0 in the series heading into Game 3 was a big privilege for this Brewers team. We know this team was competitive, but let's be honest. We knew that we were not going to sweep the Cubs. I say that in a positive way because we try to be optimistic. You don't want to overassume what this Brewers team is going to do. We knew the Cubs were going to come out here with a fight, and they brought it here in this game. One more hit, one more run than the Cubs, and the Brewers did make a good fight back, which is something that is at least a positive sign heading into this game. Now, going in through this, wasn't overall bad. We didn't see everything bad from this team, really at all, actually. Really was just Quinn Priester coming in to start the game. Didn't have the most ideal start. 2 outs, that is it. 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, and allowing a home run. Another tough start against the Chicago Cubs, just like we saw in his first game. And this really did look like a guy who was making his playoff debut, who had those nerves. And that is okay. It's his first playoff game. It's his first postseason game. We know going forward, if we want to trust him, we can. Quinn Priester has shown us that in this season. And we know that if his name gets called again, he will be ready to go. So keep that in mind. Put no blame on Quinn Priester here because, of course, it is still a very early part of this postseason. He's still a very young player. He's got to get into that rhythm just yet. But a good positive sign coming out of this was the bullpen did shut down everybody. Grant Anderson and Jose Quintana, a big shout out to both of them. 1 hit for Grant Anderson, 2 hits for Jose Quintana. Jose Quintana, his first appearance since coming back from the IL. And this is a very good sign that what we're seeing in these next couple of games will have a very good impact on the bullpen. Now, like I said, we have today's starter announced, which I want to get your guys' opinions, so be sure to stick around for that here in a moment. But if we see this bullpen continue to do this here throughout this game and whatever game we face in the postseason against any opponent, the Brewers will be in a very good spot. They have been fantastic this season throughout this, postseason as well. The bullpen has been a major factor, which is getting this Brewers team to where they are. So, like I said, having this come out now and having all of this be here throughout this postseason, let's continue this here into this game and however many more we do go up for. And like I said, but the hitting as well wasn't the greatest game at the plate, but it certainly wasn't bad. Jake Bauers, big guy there for this game. Very, very close to getting a bases loaded knock to get this game in the lead for the Brewers. Ultimately struck out. That's fine. Having situations like that, you're not going to get them every day, but when you do, you want to convert on them. But Jake Bauers hit a home run earlier in the game to get this game closer to being tied. So he did his job and has shown a very good impact of if he were to play another game, we can trust him and, see what he's had for this season. So I like what we're seeing there out of him, but throughout the lineup, wasn't too many players being able to go and hit the ball tonight, but that's okay. Like I said, this team has been exceeding every expectation at the plate this season and the postseason so far. So having one game like this, let's have a big bounce back here today. I think this is something that is going to give the Brewers a reality shock that they're not unbeatable. So this overall, I think, is a net positive for this Brewers team, even though it's putting the nerves up a bit for Brewers fans, just like you and I. Because when I seen that last night, we know the situation that a 2-1 lead is in. You still have 2 more games. You need to just win one of those, and you want to make sure you're doing everything right here at that instance. Now, like I said, the game, not too bad. Can't really complain about it, but when we go through it, we want to see a little bit more. Now, going into today's game, Freddy Peralta is on the mound once again for Game 4 after 4 days of rest. Pretty normal for him, what we've seen. No, we've seen 5, we've seen 6, but 4 days for Freddy Peralta. he's ready to go. That is a big thing heading into today's game, and it's something that we're going to have to see quite a bit of. We want to see him as much as we can. We want to see him as long as we can, but I don't give anybody too long of a leash in the postseason. Regardless if it's Freddy Peralta, regardless if it's anybody else, no matter, it could be the best pitcher in the MLB. In a postseason, your leash is shortened than what it would normally be, but Freddy has proven this entire season that he's capable of this. We saw it in Game 1. We're going to see it again here today, and the bullpen has shown that they can come out here and help out whoever the starter may be for that game. Adam McCalvy did tweet this out last night after the game. The Brewers are not naming a game for a starter at this particular point in time. Freddy would be on 4 days rest, or what he used to known as regular rest for 5. Before 5 became the norm, and otherwise could be Aaron Ashby again, is what Adam McCalvy said. But we saw that now it is Freddy Peralta. Robert Gasser's still here. Aaron Ashby's still in the pen, ready to go if we need him there. And it's going to be all hands on deck at this point. I think the Brewers are ready to go with whatever. They want to make sure they can shut this out. Now, that does leave some big questions as to what would happen in a potential Game 5 if we do not get out of this game here tonight. With Quinn Priester being on the mound yesterday, Freddy Peralta tonight, would they go another bullpen game? Would they put Jose Quintana as a starter? The question is there, and I don't want to get to that right now, but it's something I feel like we have to talk about just in case, knowing that right now, Freddy Peralta being on the mound would likely not be able to go tomorrow unless they go maybe an inning or two with Freddy Peralta, which I can't see them doing that at this very point, but I'm genuinely curious to see, and this is kind of getting my nerves up a little bit, knowing that but I do trust Freddy Peralta in any given scenario. I think that we're ready to go with him, and I think that the Brewers know what they're doing. Pat Murphy knows what he's doing, and at this point right now, we got to go and get out of this game here tonight. And with that as well, the offense is also going to know that Freddy Peralta's out there. They can't waste him. When you go into last game and see what we saw, having him out here on the mound, you're going to want to limit those 8 hits that the Cubs got last night, the 4 runs in the first inning. They did shut them down afterward, which is very good. And if we can get a hot start, we've seen the Cubs be able to struggle if they don't get early runs. So what the Brewers are also doing on the offense, last night, especially a run in the 1st, 4th, and 7th. You want to be able to get more. You want to be able to stack up more. And a few weird plays last night, just didn't help either side. So I think the Brewers are set in the right direction here tonight, especially now going up with Freddy Peralta in Game 4 and having the way that we've seen this team kind of evolve, the way that Pat Murphy's really gone about it. We saw him go out last night and say Tyone would go twice to the Brewers order. He was correct right down to the batting order, and then Pomeranz came in to start the 5th. So Pat Murphy is reading everything that the Cubs are doing, and hopefully that continues tonight with Freddy Peralta on the mound. Want to get this offense going, and with Matt Boyd starting here for Game 4, he has struggled against the Brewers this season, struggled this year for a little bit as well. So this is going to be a huge opportunity for the Brewers, and this is one they need to take advantage of early, get the lead, and then go on defense mode. So let me know what you think about these things here today. Let me know what you think about the beginning of this game, how Freddy Peralta will go about, how long of a leash you think he got, and also about yesterday's game, how you think that's going to affect this Brewers team here today. That is all I have in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out, though. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.